Hello, everyone. It's Mark, and today's live is about more than just fitness tips. My mission is bold to reduce the obesity rate in every county across the USA, starting right here in Pima County, in Tucson, Arizona, and even in my zip code 85718. But real change doesn't happen through hype. It happens through daily action, through fundamentals, habits, and through people like you. So whether you're tuning in locally or across the county or from anywhere in the world, I'm here to share 5 powerful keys that can help you transform your health starting today. So let's dive in. First thing I recommend to consider is having a clear, specific goal. So let's do a little goal setting exercise right now. If you could wave a realistic magic wand and you can have your body, your health, your energy, any kind of way you want it to be over the next, say, year or so, what would that look like for you? And think about it. Get clear and specific. The more specific you can be about it, the better. So, and then I encourage you too to consider getting it down to at least a specific body weight and a body fat percent. So I'll use myself as an example. I'm currently about 180 pounds, 10% body fat. My goal is to be 190 pounds at 10% body fat. So that's a very clear, very specific goal. So whether you're working on losing weight, whether you're working on building muscle, I encourage you to set a clear, specific body weight goal and a body fat percent goal. That's very specific. Now, once you figure that out, and I can help you figure that out, message me anytime. Once you figure that out, then what I encourage you to do, wrap it up as part of an affirmation / daily prayer. And it goes like this. I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then state your body weight and your body fat percent. So it goes, I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then state your body weight and your body fat percent. That's it. That's all you have to do. But consider doing it every day, saying it with meaning, purpose. That's like you really mean it. You really feel it. I'll use myself as an example. I am happy and grateful now that I am at least 190 pounds and at or below 10% body fat. See, that's very clear and that's very specific. All right. So, encourage you to do the same thing. Now, the 5 truths when it comes to fitness, changing your body, are exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. We're going to break them down a little bit. Let's look at proper training, building out a training program. When it comes to your exercising program, the foundation that's the whole thing, is being able to, if you want to change your body, I feel like you're going to have to do some exercise. So now when you put it together, I encourage you to do a blend of cardiovascular exercise and strength training exercise. Imagine for a moment that you're on an airplane and we have a twin engine airplane, 2 engines on the airplane. One engine is cardiovascular, one engine is strength. Now, ideally, we have both engines going strong. And that's what I wish for you. Have a combination of cardiovascular training and strength training, a blend. And that way it's going along real good. Imagine for a moment that you just had one engine going, right? That wouldn't be as efficient. I know I used to love just weight training and despise cardio. And I still don't enjoy the cardio as much, but I do it now. It's part of my regular routine. as a balanced routine. I'll make sure to get it done. I remember when I was coming up in amateur bodybuilding and I met this pro, and I went through a phase in I competed probably 26 times. I was a champion 5 times, but going through that process, coming up, I made a lot of mistakes. And so I didn't come into the placement the way that I wanted to. But I read across this pro who said the number one mistake amateur bodybuilders make, or people in fitness world make, is that they do not do enough cardio. So ever since then, I really resonated with that, and I encourage you to consider having a both blend of cardiovascular exercise and strength training exercise. Now, when it comes to building out a good training program, there are basically 5 principles I want you to consider: proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Let's look at proper form. Why would proper form be so important? Think about it. Think about it. Just kidding. So, why would that be important? 2 big reasons. One is so we don't get hurt, and that is huge. Preventing injury is a big deal. So it's a big time waster, can be a money waster, time waster. Who wants to deal with injuries? None of us do. So I encourage you to consider mastering the form, because it will assist you in preventing injuries. I also encourage you to master form because it's going to encourage you, it's going to get your body to be most efficient. Just say, for example, we're doing barbell curls, right? Barbell curls. Now, common mistake in the gym on barbell curls is people will bring the bar up and they'll bring it all the way up to the shoulder like that. That's incorrect. You might not hurt yourself, but you're not going to be very efficient, right? So get a full stretch on the bicep curl, bring it up. Generally, the peak is going to be about 4 to 6 inches for most people's shoulders, from their fist to their shoulder. So you have a gap right there, right? That's a very common mistake just on that one exercise. And there's many exercises. So I encourage you to master form, to prevent injury, and to exercise your muscle effectively and get the most use out of your time and energy. So we talked about proper form. Let's look at variety. Now, why would variety be an important element in building out a training program? Well, think about it. We might mentally get bored, right? If you did the same workout for a year, week on, week out for 1 year, I know most people will get tired of that. But then also, too, I feel more important than mental boredom would be our bodies will plateau. Have you heard of a plateau? A plateau is where you get to a certain level and you get stuck, right? So say you're making progress, say you're wanting to burn body fat and build muscle, but then you might get to a certain point in that journey and get stuck. Now, how do we change the routines around? How do we create variety? We can create variety. We can create variety in a variety of ways, right? So, for example, changing the exercises around is one way we can do it. Changing the whole routine around is another way we can do it. Changing the tempo of the movements, the speed, how fast we go down and up, that's another way to add variety. You can change the rest intervals between sets. That's another way to add variety. lots of variety, right? That will, and remember, what does variety help us with? It helps us from mental boredom in the gym. Also, too, it keeps us from plateauing as hopefully as often. There's a little bit of plateaus here and there, but ideally you won't plateau if you change it up often enough and you're on top of your proper fundamentals. So we looked at proper form, variety. The third component of a good training program is intensity. What comes to mind when you think about exercising with intensity? Think about it. Think about it. All right. So say we're pressing. Say we're going for 12 repetitions. 9, 10, 11. And we get that 12th one. And it's challenging. And we barely got number 12, but we got it. What's the most beneficial part of that set? The first few reps or the last few reps? What do you think? Be the last few, right? And why? That's where the challenge is. That's where the overload occurs. That's where the breakdown occurs. How do the muscles grow? We break them down in the gym. We stress them under the workout stress. And it's through the rest and recovery, rest and nutrition, getting your rest, getting a good sleep, and eating well. That's how the muscles grow back and overcompensate. It's a cycle. You work out, eat, sleep. Work out, eat, sleep. Work out, eat, sleep. Do it long enough, you're going to get results. So we talked about proper form, variety, intensity. Let's look at proper training principles. Proper training principles. There are several proper training principles to consider, like compound sets, supersets, drop sets, the cheating principle, up and down the rack, 21s, rest pause method. There's all sorts of training principles. I encourage you to go on Google search or do a ChatGPT search and look up different training principles and how you can include them in your workouts. And that also helps with variety. So we talked about proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. That's the last one. What comes to mind when you think about the power of consistency in a training program? Think about this for a moment with consistency. Imagine you have you and say you have a twin of you, and you're starting off with the same fitness ambitions. You start off, you train 4 days a week or consistently. You're being consistent with your training. You're being consistent with your nutrition. You're sleeping well. The other person starts off that way, but then misses a workout here and there and skips a meal here and there, has a little more processed food here and there, doesn't always get the full amount of sleep. Who is going to have the best results after a year's period? The consistent version of yourself, right? So consider being consistent with proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Be consistent with nutrition and recovery, supplementation, and mindset. But out of the three core habits, I feel would be exercise, nutrition, and recovery. Those will be the three core habits. So we've talked about training and nutrition. I want to go a little bit deeper into nutrition, just a tad more. I feel there are basically 4 different ways in which eating supports our goals or hinders them. It affects our body's metabolism, energy levels, blood sugar levels, and insulin levels. Imagine for a moment we have a fireplace. And on one hand, we have a stack of oak wood. And on the other hand, we have a stack of paper. Now, not including, kindling and getting the fire started, but if you had to choose between the oak wood or the paper to burn in your fireplace, which one would you pick and why? Well, most of us would pick the oak wood. And why? Because it's going to burn longer, slower, more efficiently. Some foods burn more like the oak wood. Some foods burn more like the paper. What foods are slow burning like oak wood? Consider foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, plant-based proteins like legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. A good high-quality olive oil. If you're deficient in your minerals and those kind of things, consider a high-quality, like a Gold Bond mineral salt added to your water or to some meals. But keep in mind that some foods burn more like the oak wood and some foods burn more like the paper. If you want to go into a little deeper dive on the nutrition, consider watching the documentary The Game Changers. The Game Changers. It's on Netflix and YouTube. It's a really awesome documentary. It was produced by a guy that won one of the UFC championships, and he has an overall winner, but he got an injury, and on his time off of injury, he did a deep dive into nutrition. Turned out to be this great documentary. It's on Netflix and YouTube called The Game Changers. They break down the science as to why fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy foods like this actually are superior in a lot of ways and can really do a lot of healthy, good things for you. Let's look at recovery. Over my last several years, I've had the honor of training 3 different neurologists. One is a neuroradiologist, and I've done a lot of research. And what I've come out to recommend for myself, I recommend to myself, clients and friends and family, is that generally 7.5 to 9 hours sleep a night with 2 hours of REM and 2 hours of deep. Now, how do we get that? There's several ways we can get that. Here are a few suggestions to get that quality sleep. Consider having the same go to sleep time and wake up time. Consider not eating 2 hours before bedtime. What that does is every time we eat, we get a metabolic boost. Our body heats up. As we get closer to bed, we want a cooler body temperature. So if you eat if you're done eating, at least 2 hours, and if you can exceed it to 3 or 4, that's even better. Your body temperature goes down before you go to sleep, and that helps you get a quality, good, regenerative quality sleep at that night. And then also, too, make sure the room is dark and cool. I sleep with an eye mask. You do you. And limit phones and TVs and laptops, those kind of blue screens, about an hour or 2 before bedtime as well. Consider going out first thing in the morning sun, getting that circadian rhythm kicked in. And then at the end of the day, when sun goes down, go outside for a few minutes into the darkness. That helps cycle the circadian rhythms. Just a few things to consider. So we've talked about training, nutrition, and recovery. Now let's briefly look at supplementation. I feel like there are basically 2 different categories of supplementation: nutritional supplementation and enhancement performance supplementation. Nutritional supplementation is like protein smoothies, and I lean on them quite a bit, although I do eat a lot of food too. But you do you, but that's available to you if you want a nutritional supplementation. But then also too, there is enhancement performance supplementation, like creatine as an example. And also, too, I put prescription medications in that category as well. Then last but not least, let's talk about the mindset. One second. So with the mindset, fitness and mindset is huge. So imagine for a moment, imagine that we're trying to build a huge building, and you have one of those cranes out in front of the building, and it has the box with the person inside pulling the levers. The person in the box is like your mind. The crane is like your body. Your mind controls your body, not the other way around. You tell you what you're going to exercise, what you're going to eat. You make up your mind and you do it. We don't have to let our bodies dictate what we do. Oh, I crave this thing. I didn't feel like working out. I didn't choose to go to bed early enough so I could get my 8.5 hours night of sleep. It's all mindset. If you decide to get 8.5 hours sleep a night consistently for the next year plus, that's you deciding that. You decide it, and then you make a decision and you do it. You set it up to happen. If you want to eat a certain way, you lay it out and decide and just do it. That the idea here is that our mind tells our body what to do, not the other way around. When it's Monday morning and I go to do my cardio first thing, when a lot of people are struggling with Monday mornings, my mind tells my body it's time to do the cardio, and we just get it done. So consider that your mind tells your body what to do. You decide the exercise program you're going to be on. You decide the nutrition program you're going to be on. You decide how much sleep you're going to get every night. You decide if you're going to supplement or not. You decide if you're going to do your mental affirmations / prayers every day. You decide to do it or don't do it. Imagine I had a mentor that used to talk about regret and discipline. He would say that we live our lives, at the end of our lives, we're either going to have regret for the choices that we made, or we're going to have the benefits because we had a disciplined life in the area that we wanted to be better at. It's like fitness. So if you fast forward to the end of your life right now, look back on it, talk to your older self, talk to your 70-year-old self and say, how did it go? Right? And say you lived that disciplined life. You could be a healthy, fit 70-year-old living your best life, right? Now, imagine you didn't live the disciplined life. You ate high saturated fatty foods and processed foods. You didn't get your sleep. You stayed stressed out. You didn't work out. How does that 70-year-old person doing? He's going to have a lot of regret. If he's a male, he's probably going to have a lot of sexual dysfunction. That's a real regretful. He's going to be at high risk of heart disease, strokes, not liking the way he looks on the outside or the inside. His blood work's going to be off if he ever checks it. So what's it going to be? Are we going to live a life of discipline? Are we going to, so we can be feeling happy and receive the benefits later in life? Or we're going to look back and be regretful of the decisions we made or the things that we didn't do. So I encourage you to live a life of discipline. The 5 truths: exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. This isn't just about fitness. It's about freedom. Freedom from the weight that's holding people back physically, mentally, and emotionally. My goal is to help reduce the obesity rate in every county in the USA, starting with my own county, Pima County, Tucson, Arizona, 85718. And that starts with one person at a time. That starts with you. So if this message spoke to you, share it. If you're ready to take the next step and interested in assistance, message me the word ready and let's talk. You don't have to do this alone. Thanks for being here. Stay strong, stay consistent, and let's build a healthier future together. One more thing, I have a free app. It's called Workouts for All, and it's on the Apple Store Connect and on the Android. You go to the Google Play Store, you search Workouts for All. Workouts, the number 4 all. It's a free download. It's a free account. It's new. It's a new app for me, so I'm adding content. It's going to be new workouts every week, from beginners, intermediates, advances, home workouts with no equipment, golf workouts, all kind of workouts, free to you to access. Of course, you got to put in the work and work out, right? But it's a free download, right? I'm going to have my nutrition resources on there, my top motivational videos. So consider starting a free account. Go to your app store, download Workouts, the number 4 all. That's the logo you'll see. It's a weight loss solutions that work, so you know it's me, not a scammer. And let's join together. One last thing, remember that health is wealth. Without our health, what difference does it make what earthly possessions we have? So consider that your health is wealth. Take care of it. It's precious. Health is wealth. Cash flow is king. Cash is queen. And credit is freedom. So that's the theme of my YouTube channel. Health is wealth. That's the number 1. Cash flow is king. Cash is queen. And credit is freedom. Be blessed. My goal is to be here with you every Tuesday, Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be blessed. And market updates are daily in the morning, Monday through Friday, around 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m. Eastern. Bye for now.